I have a great recipe for you. This is something that I needed in my life, and you may as well. It's a cracker recipe. Now, the reason why I wanted to have a good, wholesome cracker is because on my job, many times I'm out and I have my lunch with me. I finish my lunch, I have to have something else. I don't know what to have. I go looking around in the supermarkets and I see corn chips, I see cauliflower chips. I don't like potato chips, they're a little too bad, let's put it that way. And I end up sometimes buying those cauliflower chips or cassava chips, and they're still just as greasy, you know, as the regular potato chips as far as the fat content. So they're pretty similar, and I don't end up feeling well. So I said, look, I need something else. So I searched and searched, and I found this recipe, modified a little bit, and we have what's called Wise Guy crackers. Now, the reason I called them Wise Guy crackers is because we were having a cooking class just this past Sunday where we were demonstrating and talking about foods that are good for the brain. So this recipe contains 2 cups of organic spelt flour, and what we do is we take this, I'm going to show you here on this camera, this, and we turn it into that with a Wonder Mill that we have. So it's freshly ground, and we do the same thing with oats, but we use the quick oats on this. We have that, and then we take this, which is golden flaxseed, and we turn it into golden flaxseed flour or meal. And then we have walnuts, which is another brain food, and we turn it into walnut flour or powder. And then we have pumpkin seeds, another brain food, and we turn it into pumpkin seed meal. All right? And those are the main ingredients with a little bit of salt and a little bit of water to mix it all up. So now we've got, and by the way, we use, for the seeds, we use this, a coffee grinder. It takes just a few seconds, 30 seconds to grind up the walnuts, the pumpkin seeds, flax seeds. Of course, the grain, we use a Wonder Mill. So we'll put this stuff aside and start with our bowl. The first thing we're going to add in there is the flour. Just spread it around there because we got other ingredients to mix in with it. The next ingredient that we're going to add in there is our ground up oats. This is gluten-free organic quick oats that we use. All right, and then we're going to put in our flaxseed, 2 tablespoons of flaxseed. That was 1 cup of oat flour and 2 cups of spelt flour. And this is the 1/2 cup of walnuts ground up and 1/2 cup of pumpkin seeds. Now you can change the ratio to that if you want. You can even add different ingredients. I think I got a little bit more than 1/2 cup in there, but that's okay. It won't hurt anybody. And a little bit of salt. As I was saying, you could change the ingredients. I'm thinking about making this using beans instead of the walnuts and the pumpkin seeds. I think that would turn out really well. And what I washed my hands, so what I'm going to do is just stir this up with my hands right now. Get it all mixed in. Now, as far as the salt goes, that's just the right amount. When you taste these crackers, they will not be salty. So you can add more salt if you want, but I will tell you, these are very, very good. They're somewhat addictive. Well, there's a piece of walnut. Let's just break that up, crunch it up. Another thing that just came to my mind is as you're grinding up the walnuts, you want to make sure that you don't grind them up for too long because they'll turn into a sticky paste, which is going to be more difficult for you to mix into this flour that we have here. Now I'm going to add the water. Of course, I'm going to use a spoon to mix that up. And let me just slide over to the drawer. I'm not going to put all the water in at once, just a little at a time. And then I'll grab something to mix it up with, a nice metal spoon. You can see right away we need a little bit more water. Let's put that in there and put it all in. And when you're finished, you're going to have a nice ball of dough. And the dough is going to be firm, not sticky, not too soft, and not too hard. It's going to be just right. It's going to stick to your fingers just a little bit, And that'll be about it. That's when you know you have the right consistency. It's coming along real quick. It's mixing it real good. And you don't have to worry about over mixing this. It's not like you're making pie crust or anything. You want to have a good crunchy cracker. And once it's all mixed up, we'll show you how it looks. And I'm almost there. Yeah, now it's time to switch back to the hands. Move this out of the way. Oh yeah, it's feeling just right. Just right. See, this doesn't take long at all. It's just a grinding up of the ingredients, and that really doesn't take all that long either. This is good. This is not too stiff. Could probably add a little bit more flour to it. But I think I'm going to leave it just as is. It's just a little sticky, which is fine. The next thing I'm going to do is get a cookie sheet. Now this will make 2 cookie sheets of crackers. All right. So I've got to roll it out. We need a knife to cut that in half. Split it right down the middle, like that. And then just separate it. And the next thing I'm going to do is just set this aside. And then I'm going to grab a washcloth and wet my counter. You got to have a good countertop to do this, otherwise find another way to roll this out. And then take the plastic wrap and just set it down just like that. I don't know if you can see this or not. Yeah, it looks like you can. All right, just spread it out like that. Then take half of your dough. Just kind of press it out. Then get another bit of saran wrap or a plastic wrap and cover it. And then you can set that aside. Oops, I kind of messed that up, but that's okay. And get a rolling pin and just roll it out. I'm going to make it as square as possible. There we go. It's looking really good. This will be done in no time. And don't worry if it rolls out a little bit out of the plastic. That's no big deal. I'm sure most of you have seen this little plastic tip. I've learned about it a long time ago for using it to make pie crusts. Let's see, this is getting kind of hung up underneath the plastic here. So let's pull that out so it'll roll out. There we go. There we go. That's what we want. Same on this side, I guess. It's getting hung up underneath the plastic. And we'll just roll that out. Perfect. All right. And that's about all you need to do. The next thing you want to do is get this cookie sheet back. I'm going to put it over here temporarily. And take the top piece of plastic off. And just set it aside because you're going to reuse it for the other half. And then just pick this up and just place it right there. Now I missed it. I got a little bit over here. We'll add that to our next batch. That's okay. And you see what we have. We got crackers, and you just peel it off. Now, if I had to put more flour in this, it would come off a little bit easier, but it's okay. It's not too bad. There we go. And then what you got to do with that is just score it with a knife. Nothing fancy, or if you want to use a pizza cutter, you make them whatever size you want. And if you want to sprinkle some onion powder on there or garlic powder, see, I got them kind of like curved. Whoops. There we go. And one more. And we'll set that aside and get it ready. Get the other one ready. We take our plastic, We'll wet this again first, actually. There we go. Take our plastic and put it back down, and it'll stick again. Now, if you had wider plastic, it'd probably be better. This is all we have for now. It'll work. And then take the other cracker dough, and just place it there. Well, it's not wet enough underneath there. It'll do though. Okay. All right, and then cover it with the other half. Just like that. And start rolling that out. You want to have them about 1/8 of an inch thick. And if you want them thicker, that's fine. You can make them thicker. You just cook them a little longer. If you want them thinner, you have to cook them a little less. Thinner is good if you want more of like a chip consistency. And of course, if you want a thick cracker, you just go ahead and make it thick. And if you make it thick, it's really interesting because it'll be crunchy on the outside, but the inside will be nice and soft. And it's really, really good. I'm telling you, these crackers are really something else. They are delicious. People who eat them just can't stop eating them. They're kind of addictive. So you got to control yourself with these. All right, that's it. That's enough. And we'll get our other cookie sheet over here. Now you can tell that I'm not real good at cutting parchment paper, but it'll work. Take our top layer off. And hopefully we can get all this up at once. Yes. And, okay, I missed some of it. But that's okay. There we go. We set that aside. And then we'll score it. Oh, that's a little thin, isn't it? Let me do it this way. There we go. And turn it this way. There we go. And that's it. Now we'll put them in the oven, and when they're done, we'll take them out and show you what they look like. So after baking in the oven for about 28 minutes at 350 degrees, we have our sheet here of crackers. You can see them this way, or you can see them this way. And you can see the little white spots in there. Those white spots are actually walnuts. So what I do is I just flip them over and just start cracking them, just break them. Now these didn't turn out as crunchy as I wanted. They're not as hard, they're a little on the soft side, so it kind of didn't work out very good, but I'll tell you, nevertheless, you will enjoy them. They'll get a little bit more crunchy once they cool. Now on the edges, of course, they are crunchy like that. You can see you can break them apart like this. There we go, that's what we're looking for, nice crackers. Put that up underneath there. There we go. That's what we're looking for. Yeah, as they cool, they get crunchier. And what I do is I take a little handful and stick them in a little sandwich bag and bring them to lunch. And after I have my lunch, I have these, or I have them with avocado. The other day we had some with hummus. I made some artichoke spinach hummus without the artichoke and the spinach, and they turned out great. And that's all that we have now. You can cook these a little longer if you want them crunchier, obviously, or you can cook them a little less if you want them a little more soft so that you can chew them more without having to crunch them. Some people can't really chew all that well, so that's that one. And you get the idea, but this is our second sheet of crackers. And so we'll just end it right here, and I hope you make this recipe. Try it. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. and share it with your friends.